What's going on, world? It's Xiaomi Sensei ripping them back again with another video. Now, apparently, TMZ done ran into Chris Rock's brother Tony Rock, and he went in on Will Smith's latest album. All right, for those who missed what Tony Rock had to say about Will Smith and his latest album, check out this clip right here.
A good time to be a comic right now.
Yeah, hey, well,
Great time to be a comic right now. Will Smith has an album out, and it's a piece of and he addresses the Oscars. It's a good time to be a comic right now.
what do you think about that? Like, I mean, bro, like he's going back to it.
Everybody keep telling me to stop talking about it, but then he puts it on the song, so that gives me leeway to talk about it again. Album's trash. I'm just assuming that I haven't listened to it, but
Do you refuse to listen to
I
it?
refuse to listen to it.
The fact that he brought it up on the album. What, like,
That motherfucker trying to sell a album. I'm surprised he wasn't talking about being a drug dealer on this one. Or he went to jail and got shot 9 times. He's trying to sell a album. His best work was I'm still a hip hop head. That doesn't change.
so you like
His
the,
best work was Bread and Funk.
okay, all right, so you'll give him that.
I'll give him that. I'll give him. I mean, I'm not entirely,
Okay.
I know people think I'm just protecting my brother.
Well, I
I'm
like
my brother's keeper. That's all.
I like that you can talk about like things and it doesn't have to involve emotion. You're like, hey, you
Yeah,
can respect-
I'm a hip hop head. I'm a hip hop head to the core. This album probably is because I haven't heard anything about it other than he addresses your brother. If that's the only selling point, that's the album.
Does this make things worse or better? Will him and your brother?
No. It's
Nah.
This is this is the saying that I don't like, but this applies. It is what it is.
Yeah.
They ain't friends. They ain't gonna be friends. It is what it is.
There's no.
No,
fixing that bridge.
neither. I don't think either one of them lost a significant amount of money behind this bull.
Yeah.
My brother might have actually made a little more money.
Well, yeah, that Netflix special
Yeah, might have made a
that
little bit more
shit
money.
peaked up.
Ain't nobody hurting. We all of us are walking in the bank on Monday with smiles on our faces.
All right, y'all, as y'all heard, Tony Rock went in on Will Smith's latest album. And yeah, this is something that he's been on for a minute now, right? Tony Rock, he done went in on Will Smith on several occasions. Recently, even went as far as to say he still wants, he want to throw the hands with Will Smith, okay? And that's understandable. You get what I mean? Because of what happened on that stage and how it went down in front of the world, man, already it's been about 2 or 3 years, maybe even longer since it's happened. And Will Smith has, softly launched this new rebrand of himself. And yeah, this is what we got with Will Smith. I mean, listen, it is what it is, like he said in the clip, because truth be told, life goes on. All right, whether you believed it to be staged or not, the incident took place. And like Tony Rock said, everyone is eating good. Okay. That's why some people believe that it was staged for whatever reason. You know what I mean? If the slap made people look at Will Smith with more respect, then okay. You know what I mean? Some could argue that isn't the case because some truly believe that, Will wouldn't have did that if that was someone else outside of Chris Rock. But like I said, a few years later, Will has dropped some movies. Now he's getting back into the, to the rap bag. He's getting ready to go on tour with Jazzy Jeff. You know what I mean? So listen, it is what it is. Like I said, now, when it comes to the album, I don't know if anybody listened to Will Smith's latest album, but I checked it out. Wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Now, albums aren't selling like they used to, as we all know with the streaming. And Will Smith, he used to be able to, have a single or two that had commercial success, but now things have changed, okay? According to reports, Will Smith's album numbers wasn't so good, man. Like I said, as you can see, he's on a list of artists who in the past have had success when it comes to album sales. But with this latest one, it's not looking good, okay? According to reports, Will Smith's latest album, his comeback album, based on a true story, is reportedly struggling commercially. All right, selling just 268 copies in the UK and missing the Billboard 200 in the US, okay? 268 copies sold in the UK. Okay, now, again, it's tough right now for a lot of artists. This is why some of your favorite artists, right, who've dropped albums in the past, went platinum. This is why they're hesitant, because right now the numbers ain't right, man. Come on, 268 copies, like damn. And again, Will Smith, it ain't gonna bother him. He's gonna continue to keep moving forward. Like I said, normally he always has at least a single or two that has huge success, commercially, right? And I don't think with this album, I know the single he dropped with Big Sean, he released that. It wasn't bad, but again, like I said, it's not the same, man. I know recently he just dropped a video with Tiana Taylor. I like some of the records on the album, you know what I mean? But we are just in a different time. And right now, he's getting ready to go on tour, so it's no way around it. He's going to have to go back and play some of the classics. Like Tony Rock said, brand new funk. You know what I mean? He's going to have to go back into that bag, because a lot of artists, they're finding it difficult to put out new music while wanting to, give the fans what they pay for. You know what I mean? You go see Busta Rhymes. Listen, Busta done dropped about 4 or 5 albums. He wants you to listen to the new ones. But when you go to the shows, people want to hear the classics. You know what I mean? These are timeless records. Will Smith, he might not have as many hits as Busta Rhymes, but the point is, you got to find that balance, man. You getting ready to go on tour. You need Jazzy Jeff right now. Y'all need each other. Because if it was just based on the album itself, a lot of people, when they go to the shows, imagine going to a show and Will performs an album, you don't know none of the songs. This is why you're forced to have to just spread out some of your hits throughout your set and, try to find that balance where everyone gets what they want. But overall, Will wants you to buy the album. You know what I mean? These artists want you to buy their latest album. So, like I said, there's some things that need to be resolved when it comes to the artists and their compensation for their work. And in the meantime, I still think we should give artists grace. You know what I mean? Hold back on some of the criticism. At the end of the day, we can still be honest, in our criticism. But when we know that an artist has taken, years off, like look at LL, he dropped the album. You know what I mean? After how many years? It felt like 10 years, maybe even longer. I don't expect LL to drop something like he did in his prime. You need time, man. It takes time to get back in the rhythm of things. And with the social media era and everybody essentially being very critical of everything is trash. I mean, this is why some of your favorite artists are hesitant to drop new music. You know what I mean? What's the point? Let's be real. Right now, when it comes to Will Smith, all of this is a part of the rebrand post, Oscar slap with Chris Rock. But again, y'all let me know, what are your thoughts on Tony Rock trashing Will Smith in his latest album? Again, how do you think this situation between Tony Rock and Will Smith should be resolved? Because, like I said, on several occasions in the past, Tony Rock has went in on Will Smith. And at some point, I expect them to cross paths. And, hopefully they'll have that conversation off camera. But again, let me know your thoughts on this controversy down in the comment section below. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. My name is Sensei Rip. Till next time, peace. Salute world, I need y'all to do me a favor and check out my homie Grand Finale's latest video titled Less is More, okay, available on YouTube right now. I'm about to bless y'all with a teaser. If you like what you hear, make sure to hit the link in the description to subscribe to the homie's channel. Also leave a comment and tell him that Rip sent you, alright? Alright y'all, peace.
You starstruck, you stuck when I leave you in awe. What you saw had you floored as you picked up your jaw. Can't ignore you were shook to the core. Couldn't endure what many claim this war wasn't witnessed before. Earthquakes and aftershocks and tectonic plates and magma rock.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, hit that notification bell to get the latest on hip-hop, sports, comedy, whatever. All right, we got you covered over here at Forgotten Kings TV. And also, click on one of these videos, okay? All right, y'all.